All right, are we live? By the way, if you're watching this right now, if you're watching this live, comment live. If you're watching this as a replay, comment replay. All right? I think we're good. We're going. We're rocking and rolling. Thank you for joining us tonight, you awesome human beings. As always, if you're watching this live, comment live. If you're watching this as a replay, comment replay. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you with two really weird, strange hacks that no one talks about when it comes to fixing low energy, poor motivation, and constipation, bloating, and diarrhea. And you're like, this is a very, very weird group of symptoms and issues all to have in one video, but bear with me as I explain this. It's going to make a lot of sense. If you give me the next 15 minutes of your time, I'll show you how to fix all of them with, just a couple of really simple, easy hacks. You guys know that I like simple. Simple is better, right? The whole way that we run things at JCF is every single time on simple. Even with our course, we're building a new course at the moment, and every single thing is just one thing that we do each week. We just do one thing at a time, and we always get the result that way. Most people, when it comes to fixing low energy, bad focus, bad motivation, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, all this sort of stuff, they do all these weird and wonderful and fantastic things that do absolutely sweet fuck all, right? And I'm going to be super blunt with you guys about that. Most information that you get out there is bullshit, right? Because it's convoluted, it's complicated, and it just simply doesn't work. The most amazing thing about the body is that when you get the body and you work with it, it's really, really super simple. If you do the simple options, things are always easier. Now, you might think, oh, how do I know how to fix all this stuff? So if I go back a few years, I had really, really bad IBS. It was fucking horrible. This is my life. Every day I'd wake up super anxious. I would be anxious. My head would be racing, but at the same time, I'd have no energy. I'd have no motivation. I'd have constant brain fog. And then plus as well, I would either be spraying the toilet bowl or I wouldn't be using the toilet bowl at all. It was one of the two. And in between, I was constantly bloated. I was so bloated, I would just get reflux all the time. I would get bloated by drinking water, right? No, I didn't even have to eat food. I just drank water. In fact, I could probably breathe and be bloated. And these are the exact hacks that I used in order to fix that, okay? This stuff works. It's really, really simple, and it's really, really straightforward. Now, if you have low energy, bad motivation, if you feel like you're constipated, bloated, or you get diarrhea, you've probably tried a few things by now to fix it. The most common things that people try, number one, change your diet, okay? A lot of people will go keto, paleo, FODMAP, specific carbohydrate diet, Atkins, all these different diets that we try. And there's some merit in changing diet, and I can get the logic in it, but very rarely it works. Because the thing is, when we change our diet, often we'll get an immediate, we'll feel better immediately, and for the next day or next 2 days we'll feel good. Maybe even a week will feel really good. But then as the days, the weeks, the months roll on, it's we just go back to exactly how we were before. The other thing that we try is supplements, right? I know so many people who start smashing a heap of caffeine if they want to get more energetic or motivated. They go and get onto the pre-workouts. They start taking all types of herbs and pills and potions in order to fix their diarrhea, constipation, all that. I spent several $1,000s just trying to fix my IBS, right? Several thousand. It was insane how much I spent. And that's over a couple of months, right? It's not over the years. It's in a couple of months. Because I went and did everything. I went and got acupuncture. I saw naturopaths. I saw holistic doctors. I saw absolutely everyone. And the thing about these things is, once again, it's just like changing your diet. It feels good for a little bit, but then after a while, you realize that it does sweet fuck all, absolutely nothing, right? So don't bother with all the pills and potions and all those remedies, because they're just a load of shit, to be perfectly frank with you. Then the other thing, the third thing that a lot of people try is they go down this route of fasting, right? They're okay, and this is the logic behind it. All right, food going in isn't doing much good for me. Supplements going in isn't doing much good for me. So what I'm going to do is, it must be a detox issue, right? So I'm going to fast, and I'm going to allow my liver to detox. Now, fasting's all well and good, but in this instance, when you have low energy, poor motivation, constipation, bloating, and diarrhea, the fasting is actually going to make things much, much worse in the long run. Now, when you're fasting, you'll feel good at the start. I used to love fasting. I did 3-day fasts. I did day-long fasts. I did heaps of different fasts, right? I think I even did 5 days, right? I did a lot of fasting back then. And it made me worse and worse and worse. When I fasted, I felt good. But the thing about fasting is that sooner or later, you got to start eating food again, right? You can't just not eat food for the rest of your life. And so when you go back to eating food, everything's way, way worse. Now, the reason why we're in this position in the first place is because whenever you have low energy, poor motivation, constipation, bloating, or diarrhea, every single time, it always comes back to you being stuck in a state of fight or flight. And what I mean by fight or flight is characterized by the following. Number one, highly stressed, heads racing, anxiety, right? Poor sleep, high levels of adrenaline, high levels of cortisol. When we're in this state, life isn't very fun at all. And it's really, really draining. You'll feel like super ramped up. And you guys might know what I mean by this. You feel tired, but wired at the same time. You're really, really tired all throughout the day, but at the same time, you're like really strung out. And so like when you go to lie down, when you go to relax, meditate, go to sleep, anything like that, your head's still racing. You're exhausted and you're lying there like, fuck, all I want to do is go to sleep, but you just can't because your brain won't let you. Sound familiar? When we're in this state, we're stuck in this fight or flight. This is a situation where our nervous system has been shifted from where it should be to where it shouldn't be. Simple as that. And in order to fix all these issues, we simply need to get it back. And so that's why where these two weird hacks come in. And the reason why they're weird is because nobody talks about these. If everybody talked about these, we wouldn't have no more issues. You wouldn't have any digestive issues. You wouldn't have any energy issues. You wouldn't have any motivation issues. You would be absolutely crushing life. And if you implement these two weird hacks, things are going to get dramatically easier for you really, really quickly. We've done this on like thousands of guys. This is the whole underlying concept behind our coaching and how we work with guys, who I imagine are in a similar situation to you if you're watching this, right? And by the way, guys, this is filmed live too. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to comment and I'll go through and I'll get back to them and give you answers as quickly as I can. Now, the first weird hack that I want you to go through and look at, the most important thing that we can do is reduce stimulation into our brain. Whenever we get stuck in a fight or flight state, it's because we have excessive amounts of stimulation coming in. And we stimulate our brain and our mind keeps going and it keeps going a million miles an hour. If you have low energy, poor motivation, constipation, bloating, or diarrhea, the chances are that you probably feel like your head races a little bit. It's very, very rare that you find a monk with IBS, right? The most common people with, there's a TV show that I used to watch. It's called Rake. There's an Australian one, you might know, it's about lawyers. They talk about in there, because there's a couple of references to lawyers with IBS and how heaps of lawyers have IBS because they're always stressed the fuck out and they're always stuck in this fight or flight state. Whenever we're in this fight or flight state, it's going to make things way, way worse. So what we need to do is we need to reduce our stimuli and reduce how much our brain is ticking over. And when I'm talking about stimuli, I'm talking about your phone. Number one, stop scrolling through Instagram, stop scrolling through Facebook, stop watching so much on social media. When you wake up in the morning, is the very first thing you do look at your phone before you do anything else. What we're doing there is we're just bringing input in all the time. Now let's compare that time that we spend on our phone where we stop breathing, we start breathing through our mouth, stop breathing through our nose, we do all these things which make us more stressed. Let's compare that time where you have loads of stimulation coming in from your phone or from drinking coffee or from doing drugs, going out, partying, drinking, eating food, seeing heaps of people, arguing with people, running through a busy street. Let's compare that to when you go into nature. Now I remember when I was super stressed and strung out. When I go on like a bushwalk, I go camping with my friends, or I'd go somewhere where there's like no stimulation, no reception, nothing like that. Instantly, I'd feel better, right? And yes, there's a whole lot of it which is to do with nature being amazing and fractals and stuff like that. We're not going to get into that today. What we're going to look at purely is the fact that reducing stimulation is going to calm us down massively. One of the things that I've noticed from coaching so many men over the years is the less stimulation we have, the better for our nervous system. Remember, stimulation is anything. Anything which can be watching TV, watching our phone, scrolling Facebook, messaging 10 different people at once, playing computer games to distract us, drinking coffee, drugs, anything like that, all of it is a stimulation. We don't want to have too much of that. In moderation, that's fine. But when you have low energy, low motivation, constipation, bloating, or diarrhea, get rid of it, okay? And start being more still. When our mind becomes still, we start becoming much more relaxed. All of our stress hormones go down. And when our stress hormones go down, our energy, motivation, and digestion comes back really, really quickly. See, energy, motivation, and digestive issues are all a product of the mind and not of the actual location. Most people think that, oh, I got low energy, I need to have more caffeine. I need to take that pre-workout. Oh, my gut's not working, I need to take these gut supplements. I need to do this abdominal massage. Yeah, cool. Sometimes they work, but very, very rarely, and only for like very, very specific conditions. 99.999 repeated percent of the time, the reason why people who continually haven't been able to fix their energy, their motivation, or their digestion, it's because they're not looking at the right thing. All right. So the first thing is go through and reduce stimulation that you have going into your head, into your eyes, into all your senses. Stop overloading your senses so much. Step number 2, sleep better. I know this is so fucking boring. Oh, thanks, James. I wish it sounds like dumb advice, right? Sleep better. But most people do not sleep well. Most of us sleep terribly. I used to sleep horribly. I used to convince myself that I slept really well when I was getting 5 hours of sleep per night, and I wasn't getting very good deep or REM sleep with that. I track my sleep every single night. This is an Aura ring. You've probably seen me or heard me talk about this before, but I've been using this for many, many years. And there was a time there where I thought that I was absolutely crushing it, but I super wasn't. What is good sleep? What is an appropriate amount of sleep? An appropriate amount of sleep is going to bed and waking up about 8 hours later. No wake-ups at all throughout the night. Good amounts of deep and REM sleep. If we have this, then we crush it and we do really, really extraordinarily well. If we don't have that, then life isn't going to be terribly fun, okay? When we sleep, it allows our body to shut off. When we sleep, we go into a rest and digest state, which is the opposite to fight or flight. It relaxes us, it calms us down, and it brings us down. Now, at the same time, it also allows a lot of the restorative things happening. So if you have low energy, here's what's going on. Low energy can be neurochemically characterized as having poor amounts of dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter or a brain chemical, which allows us to be motivated, allows us to move, gives us energy to go out and do things, all right? Have you ever been so freaking hungry before and then you see food somewhere and you've literally like charged for it and made a beeline because you're super motivated? Or maybe you're playing some sort of sport and you really fucking want to win and you just get this massive burst of energy when you know you're about to win, right? It's what we call like white line fever in footy. Dopamine gives us a massive boost of energy. And what happens is whenever we're not sleeping well, our dopamine becomes less effective and it starts being used less, okay? So remember that. Poor sleep, poor dopamine, poor energy. At the same time we have poor energy, we'll also have poor motivation going in. They're hand in hand. Now, when it comes to digestive issues, our gut lining and our gut cells are constantly getting damaged and fixed, damaged and fixed, damaged and fixed. If through the day you're putting in a whole heap of stimulus, right? Lots of stimulation, caffeine, food, drugs, alcohol, it's going to be damaging your gut. That means at night, it should be able to repair. That's why a lot of people can drink or not eat terribly well. But if they're super low stress and they sleep really, really well, their gut's often fine. But if you don't sleep well, it means that your gut is not going to give you a chance, or you're not giving your gut a chance to actually recover, restore, and heal. So we need to optimize our sleep so it allows our gut cells to go and turn over, to get fixed, clear out all the shitty ones, and have more of the good ones put in there. Does that make sense? And this is exactly how we run our program. And what we do at JCF. Every single thing is based off making small little hacks which affect the root of the issue. Does that make sense? Now, if you've got any questions at all that you want to ask, anything that you want to learn further, or you feel like this this information might be helpful for you or something you want to look further, you want to explore on, we've got a free digestion course which you can go and have. We've got a free digestion course and we've got a free energy course which you can have free of charge. I'll hook you up with it. Just comment in the comment section below. All you got to do is just comment energy, right, down in the comment section below, and we'll hook you up and we'll shoot it across to you. What we'll do in these courses, we'll run you through exactly what you need to do step by step by step in order to fix your digestion, in order to fix your energy, and to get your motivation back. Pretty simple, right? If you want access to that, just comment in the comment section below, and we're more than happy to help you out. On that note, crew, I'll leave you all to it. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'll speak to you soon.